I think it'd be really cool if Sephiroth gets his own sort of live stream-esque scene, not like Cloud's. He's creating himself again. He's reinventing himself. He's going to be reborn. I think it'd be really cool if we have, and I think it's a good place to put Genesis. I think it'd be cool to see Genesis here, as opposed to like coming in at the 11th hour and like doing some empty mechanic and then dying and disappearing. I think it'd be really cool to see Genesis here, kind of trying to be Tifa for Sephiroth. I don't mean romantically. Shows up and he's like, look at who you were. Come back to me. Come back to us. Because Genesis is effectively kind of like a champion of the planet now, right? Like, look at this, man. You were good once. Look at these memories of us. And we can see Angeal and Genesis when they were friends. New scenes, not Crisis Core stuff. Let's get good, meaningful, new content that explains Sephiroth's character, where he's going, why he was the way he was. His dream that it's actually said in Ever Crisis. He kind of wants to save everyone, but then I think he faces the harsh reality during the war that he can't save everyone. And it's very upsetting to him. So it could be really cool. And I said, this is sort of what Sephiroth is doing is I think he's in a really sad, tragic way. I think in a sad, tragic way, like Sephiroth is trying to save everyone. In Final Fantasy VII, he's trying to time compression, like Ultimecia from Final Fantasy VIII. He's trying to combine the worlds and create this stasis of just absolution.
Is fucking awesome.
You like it? Yeah. So he's
gonna so good.
This is his sad, twisted version of that dream, and it's
that's
pathetic.
why he chose Glenn as a body. That's why he chose Cloud's dad.
It's sad
as an icon.
Yeah,
oh my
sad.
God!
And it's like, imagine that, right? It's this sad, like I do want to save everyone, but it's a demented version of it, and it's wrong. And it's pathetic, and I think it'd be really cool if we get this scene where Genesis is kind of trying to appeal to him, and it's just like they play on the tragedy of Sephiroth more. And they actually said this in a quote for part 3. They said like, hey, yeah, we're gonna get all the scenes, but it's very much about Sephiroth too. Yeah. They said that in a recent interview, and I was like, oh, maybe they'll do my scene. But I think it'd be really strong, man. And again, we can see meaningful scenes with Sephiroth. I want to see the Ever Crisis stuff personally too. Like show me the Masamune stuff, show me where he gets it, show me how he gets it, show me him realizing he can't achieve that dream, that everybody can't be saved, and then let's go from there. But I think it could be really strong, and then maybe the ending of the game, the true defeat, as you say, like that final payoff, which I want too. I think that's why a lot of people misinterpret what I say about like, yeah, it's just OG. Like I want finality too, but I want it to work within the continuity of everything, but also be like, and now when we watch Advent Children after, we'll be like, yes, it is actually over. Awesome. Do you know what I mean? But I think it'd be really cool when at this point, this idea of trying to save everyone with the, what's the word he uses, Baby Seal? It's escaping me right now. Not combine worlds, eternity. Yeah, but reunion, but he says like an eternity. What does he say? Like a rule over eternity. Oh, rule over eternity. He says on Bizarro Sephiroth's description. Yeah. A resurrected being who's going to merge all the worlds, the reunion, and rule
eternity
over
doesn't exist. Not yet.
Right.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. Exactly. Right. So it's so FF8, right? Time compression. It's so cool. And I think it'd be really cool if it's tragic. And they have that conversation with Kate Sith in Cosmo Canyon where he says, hey, man, is Sephiroth a good guy then? If he's trying to, like, what's going on? And they're all like, no comment. You know what I mean? It's a super interesting conversation.
Yeah. Clearly not,
Yeah, clearly not. But it's like interesting thought. What is he doing exactly?
And so First Soldier, by the way, at the time of this podcast, which is early May, the First Soldier's 2 next chapters are going to come to Ever Crisis on the 15th. And so hopefully we'll get a little bit more, and,
yes,
I'll definitely be streaming them so that you don't have to.
I can't wait.
And
thank you.
And the okay, so I love that. I love the idea.
Yeah, what do you think?
I love the idea that we get an explanation for Sephiroth wanting to have this really broken, childlike, nothing can die, like a really unhealthy attachment to his loved ones, or the things that he never had, the family he never had. I love the idea of that being developed in First Soldier through like his relationship with Glenn and Rosen.
What's the best scene with Sephiroth, and the most kind of like pathos laden scene with him, and disturbing scene at the same time, as you see him, mother, now we'll be together forever.
Yeah.
It's just like, ugh, it's so unnerving and sad and creepy and foreboding. And then he rips the thing out, violent action. We'll be together forever. It's like, wait, does he love her or not? And then it's like, is he threatening her or not? And then I would love to see Genova complete as her final form in OG. I would love to see Genova complete, man. I want her to get all her cells back, stand up and start talking. I want to see the visuals of her saying, "It's okay, my son," you know, holding him like he did in front of her at the thing.
Yeah,
I think it'd be
very creepy. I love that.
Really
I love
creepy.
that.
Right, and you can play it into this whole thing, and then maybe they play up the whole like, wait, is he being controlled? But then you see like, oh, in a really kind of like unhealthy, disturbing way, oh, he's definitely in control, and it's not in a loving manner. I think they would kind of really play with that relationship, because man, in Rebirth, that shit gave me chills to see it brought to life in Nibelheim. That final scene, it's like, oh, I want more of this, man. I want more of this. So anyway, that's my new Masamune crazy idea.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot more. I mean, I think we'll probably get some kind of explanation for Masamune at some point. But no, one of the weirdest things about Ever Crisis is seeing in the opening movie, like Sephiroth is laying over like this pile of behemoth zeros that he's just mercilessly slaughtered, and he's panicking. He's like, come on, pick up, and he's dialing Genesis, and it's like this this first look of like this neurotic, like childlike, like just desperate for attachment and love, and like it's the first like view of that we see, and it makes sense that by the time that Nibelheim happens, he's cold, detached. Tifa describes him as cold and detached. He's in in Rebirth.
He's also like dead serious.
In the Nibelheim incident, he has little warming moments, and it's like almost uncomfortable when he's like joking around with with Zack and stuff like that, and they do humanize him and stuff like that, but he seems more like he's detached from whatever weird neurotic shit he's going through, you know, Glenn's getting back shots from Rufus. That's the thing though. It's like, listen, I want to see that Sephiroth, like, is he afraid that his friend is dead? You know, please pick up. What does that mean? You know, and I want to see that kind of like, and then how did he lose that? That's fucking good.
But then picture, you know, Genesis in the live stream, like kind of trying to appeal to him, and maybe he's like, no, I don't need you anymore. You betrayed me. And maybe he destroys Genesis there. But I think it'd be a meaningful place for Genesis, and not like, let's have him appear at the last second of the whole trilogy and like do what, in my opinion, would be like not what I would prefer for like a mystery box answer sort of payoff. Like I'd rather see him more integrated than just like, oh, there he is, and now he's gone. You know, so that's my thought, and that's my new theory, everybody.
I love it. Here's my only issue with it. I hope that they find a way to pull it meaningfully enough out of Ever Crisis and put it in part 3 that people understand it.
I agree. I don't want them to say like, go play Ever Crisis.
Yeah.
Which could be deleted in like a year, by the way. Ever Crisis, like just like First Soldier was. So yeah, hopefully it's just like, it's there and it's in one place. One of the reasons I said all that was because I just played the original. Sephiroth doesn't speak ever again on disc 3 or before it. He just like breaks Cloud and then becomes a god and just sits there. So I think I could use more characterization for him.
Again, I've been like hoisted on a stake for saying that, but I think that Sephiroth in the OG would be a meaningless seeming character in modern storytelling standards by far. In the OG, he completely coasted on how cool he looked. It was 100% it.
And his theme song by Nobuo.
And his theme song,
those chosen, but it's just too cool.